As I pulled the stuck bracelet from the sofa cushions, a floating comment popped up in my vision. It read, "Because of this bracelet, you will die a gruesome death. Hands that touch it get chopped off for the dogs. Eyes that see it get gouged out and soaked in sulfuric acid." I jerked my hand back instantly and rushed to the kitchen to wash dishes. But another comment materialized. "The pink baby bowl has his wife's spit on it. Anyone who washes it off becomes fertilizer for the back garden tonight." I stared at that pink bunny bowl and carefully bypassed it. Suddenly, the sparse floating comments exploded. "Damn, she dodged it flawlessly. She is definitely no rookie. This has to be a veteran horror survival player here to retire? No way, I have never seen a pro player look this cute." I kept my eyes down, quietly reading their reactions. Just then, the male host walked downstairs. He tossed aside the living room sofa cushions and called us over with a bright smile. He asked which kind soul found his missing necklace. He promised a massive reward for tonight. We all held our breath and crept over slowly. Nobody dared to make a sound, terrified of triggering some hidden death trap. Just yesterday, a player stared into the host's eyes for over 3 seconds and was dragged off by a monster. They are still missing. I kept my gaze fixed on the floor, dodging his eyes while reading the frantic chat. Even knowing he is about to slaughter everyone here, some chatters were still thirsting over his handsome face. The chat argued about separating morals from looks, but then someone dropped a crucial hint. We had to find the hidden Easter egg to survive the night. Problem is, the Easter egg changes every single game. Nobody knew what to look for. I scanned the floating text for a lifeline, but they were too busy judging the girls in the room to drop any actual clues. Suddenly, a pair of icy blue eyes locked onto our group. It was the very first time he spoke to us with such a soft, gentle voice. He said that bracelet was a birthday gift for Xiao Nian. If it is lost, she will be furious. He couldn't bear to see her cry. Whoever found it would be today's lucky winner. I heard the other players gasping around me. Everyone wanted to be the chosen one. The prize was guaranteed safety and rest, lasting all the way until our employment contract officially ended. The panic in the room instantly morphed into heavy breathing. That reward was basically a cheat code. You could beat the entire horror level without risking your life once. Next to me, a girl with short hair parted her lips and excitedly whispered to herself. She thought this was the hidden Easter egg. A massive chill ran down my spine. Wait, wasn't I the only one who could see the live chat? She stepped forward and told the host how moved she was by the beautiful love story of him and his wife. She claimed she was incredibly honored to be the lucky maid cleaning his house today. She said she was different from the rest of us, highly detail-oriented. That is why she was the only one who found his beloved wife's missing bracelet wedged deep inside the sofa cushions. She held it out, bragging about keeping it perfectly clean. The host abruptly cut her off. He asked, "So you touched it with your bare hands?" My vision instantly flooded with white candle emojis in the chat. Oh, she was doomed. The viewers laughed that another rookie was biting the dust. Someone mentioned she was actually a rising star in the survival game community. Just days ago, she was flexing her stats online, bragging about beating an S-tier dungeon. The host leaned in and asked, "You saw it and touched it, didn't you?" The host's face suddenly twisted into pure agony as he stared at the jewelry in her palm. He muttered that his Xiao Nian was right all along. She had warned him that a greedy thief would eventually try to steal their precious bracelet. He screamed that they had to use her favorite possession as bait just to catch a filthy rat like her. He called her absolutely disgusting. But then, his voice went dead smooth. He promised she would still get her special reward. He told her she was going to help him prepare dinner tonight. The chat went absolutely wild. Help prepare dinner? It was glaringly obvious the short-haired girl was the main course. By 10 p.m., the host finally. His hands looked pale and wrinkled, soaking in water way too long. He gathered us around. "Who wants to serve supper tonight?" A massive trap. If you see what is inside and spill the soup, you get dragged away. Straight to the garden to become fertilizer. I watched the live stream comments rolling by. These rookies are totally doomed tonight. My mind raced wildly, desperate to figure out how to survive and safely stay inside this unfamiliar girl's body. I do not belong in this weird survival game world where clearing dungeons makes you rich. Just days ago, I was broke, wondering which park bench to sleep on. Today, I am sitting inside a cozy little villa. I finally ate 2 hot meals that were actually fresh. Honestly, I felt so happy I could cry. Those meals even made me excited for tomorrow. Suddenly, the master of the house locked eyes with me. "You, come serve the soup. You are the closest." Back in my old life, my height always kept me shoved at the back of the line. By the time shelter food reached me, it was just scraps. So here, I always grabbed the seat right next to the food bucket. I never guessed that habit would make me the designated server tonight. The comments flashed. "Wow, this cute girl is totally unfazed. She must be backed by a top player." Honestly, my palms were dripping with nervous sweat. I am just slow to react, not blind. I was absolutely terrified. The master spoke again. "1 scoop per person. Do not spill the soup my dear wife cooked. Spill a single drop, and you are fired." Based on the comments, fired in this dungeon means getting completely eliminated. For newbies without a revive card, elimination means actual, permanent death. Obviously, this host body was just as broke as I was. No fancy revive cards here. I slowly peeked into the massive food bucket. Chunks of meat floated beneath a thick layer of greasy white oil. Patches of dark black hair churned violently in the boiling broth. Everyone sat trembling in their seats. I dipped the ladle in, and immediately pulled up a mangled, severed finger. My stomach instantly tied into violent knots. The chat went wild. Wait, this plot twist was not in the original game. Did they change the later levels to stop players from cheating? Looking at the boiling soup, my intense nausea suddenly completely faded away. Back home, I used to butcher pigs just to afford decent meals. I instantly recognized the floating organs as pig guts. Maybe that missing girl was not dead after all. I served out the soup, scoop by scoop. My hands were so steady I could have threaded a needle for my grandma. The livestream comments exploded. Damn, this girl is amazing. I seriously think she can read our chat. Marry me, beautiful, bro. Snap out of it. If she beats this survival level, her player rank hits S-class minimum. The prize pool has rolled over for seasons. It is worth millions now, like she would ever date you. I looked up. Anyone want another bowl? Not only did I perfectly serve everyone their dinner, but I even asked them with a polite smile. After finishing the job, completely starving, I gulped my portion down. Tasted exactly like pork broth. Pretty good, just slightly salty. Everyone stared at me with utter disbelief. Seconds later, a massive chorus of vomiting echoed all around me. The chat scrolled fast. Sure, she finished serving the meal, but the night ends in exactly 10 minutes. Literally none of these rookies managed to find the hidden Easter egg. Sadly, they are doomed. 10 minutes left. Panic struck my chest. The master glared at us with freezing, angry eyes. My lovely wife cooked this wonderful meal, and you vomit like this? How incredibly rude. The corners of his mouth crept into a twisted smile. His dark gaze drifted straight toward my side of the table. Unless you somehow earn my dear wife's forgiveness, you will all. Saying this, the master stared with absolute love at the mysterious upstairs bedroom. No maid was ever allowed inside. We all nervously watched that forbidden doorway, desperately praying the lady of the house would come downstairs, even just to beg for our pathetic lives. The clock ticked down. The master smiled while slowly sharpening his butcher knife, practically vibrating for the countdown to end. The girls beside me collapsed into a weeping mess. If we are dying anyway, we should just charge upstairs and find the wife and beg for mercy. The stench of death grew overwhelming. Staring upstairs, my brain totally snapped. I looked at the master. Baby, is the garden missing fertilizer? I made the soup too salty today. If you kill them, who will serve me tomorrow? Let's just let it go tonight. The room fell dead silent. Everyone stared at me in absolute shock. Their faces screamed, "Do not drag us down with you." Suddenly, the master's icy blue eyes shifted. The coldness melted into absolute, tender warmth. Baby, I told you not to cook. You must be exhausted. Next time, do not cook for these blind idiots. Not a single one of them deserves your skills. The live stream chat froze for a few seconds before completely exploding. Holy crap, am I seeing this right? You can actually pull that off? Day 1 of outrunning death, and I actually survived. I dragged my exhausted body back to the maid dormitory to rest. But the second I stepped inside, some unhinged thug clocked me in the jaw. You totally cheated. You must be the mastermind's puppet, or inside staff. Otherwise, how did so many veteran survival game players die, while a total rookie like you triggers a hidden Easter egg? The massive impact slammed my body hard against the wall. The metallic taste of blood rapidly exploded across my tongue. I violently spat a mouthful of bloody saliva right at his face. The sudden grossness made him shriek out loud. Beaten up again. I left my original world, yet I still cannot escape getting assaulted. The other remaining survivors glared at me in horrifying realization. No wonder you purposely avoided washing those dishes and cleaning the sofa. You manipulated the short-haired girl into finding that necklace. From the very start, you knew all the rules and hidden secrets. You cheated, and you made me kill him. Back at dinner, you sat by the food bucket on purpose, didn't you? I shot them an amused look. Didn't they fight for those back seats? They just glared at me, clearly plotting something. A clever strategy on their part. Our strongest player, the girl with short hair, was already dead. Since we know who you are, we'll just copy everything you do. If we die together. Think you can hog the prize money? Not a chance. Suddenly, a twisted bell echoed through the dorm. A voice crackled over the intercom. Night has fallen. Survivors, close your eyes to welcome tomorrow's new maid tasks. The announcement felt like an absolute death sentence. Everyone shivered in the dark. I slipped into bed, but at that exact moment, the maid's door creaked open. A bone-chilling laugh squeezed through the crack. Come here, baby. I squeezed my eyes shut, my mind racing through a million terrifying guesses. You're in the wrong room. Before I could even process what was happening, heavy footsteps stopped right beside my bed. Danger moved fast, but I had to be faster. I just claimed to be the boss's wife. Starting now, I couldn't blow my cover as a player. Since this dungeon opened, absolutely no one had ever seen me, the master's wife. With all my years reviewing horror games, I knew the others thought I was just some clueless newbie who wouldn't survive the night. Cold sweat drenched my skin as his icy voice slithered into my ear. Baby, are you sure you're my wife? He whispered. Why else would you be sleeping in the maid's quarters? I thought you absolutely hated being touched by these people. Around me, the other survivors buried their heads under their blankets, pretending to be fast asleep. But I clearly heard someone snickering in the pitch black. They were all just waiting for me to die. I bolted upright, grabbed the master's face, and slapped him as hard as I could. You knew I was sleeping in the maid's room. You knew how much it disgusted me to be around them. I channeled every ounce of acting I learned back in the circus. So why did you take this long to find me? The agonizing silence stretched on forever. Then, without warning, a pair of ice-cold lips crashed right into mine. My brain completely short-circuited in an instant. I am so sorry, baby, he whispered. I was wrong. Please, come back with me. Come on. That was my actual first kiss. The live chat instantly exploded with a tidal wave of swearing. Holy crap, did that slap actually turn the boss on? I remember the devs spent 20 years building this guy, and to give him depth, they literally hard-coded his hidden traits as gloomy, gorgeous, and totally unhinged. No wonder his side profile looked absolutely stunning in the dark. Even when interacting with hardcore players, the dynamic was wild. I gulped nervously. Cute little newbie? No, I was just scared out of my mind. After my parents divorced and abandoned me, the harsh real world taught me how to play the fool just to survive. But I never imagined that today, I would literally have to fake being a monster's wife just to stay alive. The boss scooped me right into his arms. With every step up the stairs, I got closer to his secret bedroom. What happens when I run into his actual wife? He would absolutely slaughter me for being a fake, wouldn't he? Suddenly, the forbidden door that no player had ever unlocked swung open effortlessly. I was so terrified I nearly passed out. The very first thing I saw was the stuffed animal my parents threw away years ago. Next, I noticed the exact same vintage furniture from my childhood home. Mustering every ounce of courage, I scanned the desk and the bed. Totally empty. I had just exhaled when I spotted the massive balcony outside. My mind instantly flashed to the short-haired player who got turned into human fertilizer right beneath that balcony. The boss still hadn't put me down. He studied my face inch by inch, tracing my features like I was some priceless artifact. Trapped against his cold breath, I had to wrench my head sideways just to catch a single breath of fresh air. The live chat's mood flipped entirely. Hold on, this feels weird. Why is this so romantic? Is she even a player? What if she's actually an NPC? The boss's real official wife? I stared at the stream in absolute shock. My heart was practically hammering out of my chest. Just as I finally braced myself to shove him away, he whispered, Lin Mube, I've been waiting for you. A sudden, heavy weight hit my shoulder. He slumped against me, his faint murmurs brushing right against my ear. He rested his head heavily on my shoulder, completely exhausted, collapsing onto me while my own legs felt like jelly. Wait a second, Lin Mubai, that was my actual, real-world name. How in the world did he know that? Did my in-game character happen to have the exact same name? Pure exhaustion and confusion blurred my vision. Leaning against his chest, I completely passed out. When my eyes fluttered open again, the room was bathed in bright daylight. I scrambled out of bed, staring down in absolute bewilderment at the fresh silk pajamas I was wearing. Who changed my clothes? Wasn't this supposed to be a deadly horror dungeon? Why did I survive the night unharmed? My brain spun with a million terrifying questions. Suddenly, a strong breeze swept in through the balcony. The silk curtains fluttered upward, revealing a massive wall completely plastered with photographs. I stood there, utterly paralyzed with shock. Every single picture was of me. The wall felt like a projector screen, rapidly flashing through the last 15 years of my tragic life. Me at 5, abandoned and tossed around by my divorced parents. Me at 16, breaking my leg as a circus clown just to earn a meal. Me at 10, sitting alone at school because I couldn't afford lunch, starving until I resorted to eating someone's leftovers. Tears spilled down my cheeks before I could stop them. Only when I finally calmed down did I notice a hidden picture in the corner. A childhood photo of me standing beside a stunningly gorgeous boy. His sharp, striking features looked exactly like the terrifying boss of this dungeon. Before I could even process it, the livestream chat which had vanished all night suddenly popped back up. That was so weird. Why did the stream go completely black last night? What's going on? It finally hit me. Someone had deliberately cut the broadcast and the chat. That was the only reason I actually got a peaceful night's sleep. I must have been lost in my childhood memories for hours. By the time I opened the bedroom door, it was already getting dark. Right outside, sitting on a silver cart, was a steaming plate of my absolute favorite braised sori. Back when my mom actually loved me, she used to cook this all the time. It was the meal I craved the most after she abandoned me. Starving, I eagerly grabbed the chopsticks and took a slow, trembling bite. The rich aroma instantly dragged me right back to the only bright spots of my childhood. Hot tears streamed down my face as I practically devoured the fish. Meanwhile, the live chat was absolutely screaming. Did this newbie seriously come here for a vacation? Her teammates literally got hunted down by a horde of monsters just trying to get groceries, and she's chilling here eating fancy fish. Haven't you guys heard? They say this boss loves to keep his prey as pets. He waits for them to drop their guard. Reading those morbid theories made my stomach drop entirely. More and more grotesque monsters started breaching the mansion. A screaming survivor spotted me in the hallway and immediately bolted in my direction. The monsters, who hadn't noticed me before, whipped their heads around and charged straight at me. Rule number 1 of horror survival. You just have to outrun the person next to you to stay out of a monster's jaws. The chat instantly started gloating. She just got super lucky last night. That dumb luck is definitely running out today. These creatures had absolutely zero intelligence. They were designed to slaughter players on sight. My legs turned to jelly. I blindly sprinted for my life, only to smash face, first into a lunging monster. It unhinged its bloody jaw. The survivor hiding nearby shot me a sick, relieved smile. But before he could celebrate my death, the towering monster suddenly dropped to its knees in front of me. "Forgive me, please. I was blind. You changed into pajamas, and I didn't even realize you were the childhood queen our master has spent decades searching for." But its apology came way too late. The master materialized out of nowhere, grabbed the beast's jaws barehanded, and ripped its head in half like a ripe piece of fruit. He was terrifying. Even trapped in a seemingly human form, the mere sight of him sent the remaining monsters scattering in absolute terror. The few remaining survivors witnessed the whole bloody execution, their faces completely frozen in shock. The live chat instantly spiraled into pure chaos. Wait, did the boss just protect her? Is this newbie literally hacking the game? No way, that wasn't a glitch. He's violently protecting her. Suddenly, the massive crystal chandelier above us shattered into absolute darkness. Why is the feed blacking out again? A strange instinct washed over me. I couldn't shake the crazy feeling that this terrifying boss had known me for years. A second later, ignoring the horrific screams of the slaughtered players, he strode straight through the darkness toward me. "It's been a long time," he whispered. "I'm Lin Mu Yang." In the flickering glow of a single candle, I stared into his face. That striking, beautifully haunting boy from my memory, it was actually him. My eyes went wide with absolute disbelief. "You're real," I choked out. "You weren't just my imagination." Suddenly, the memory flooded back. It was 2010. I had just finished counting the 5 tiny candles on my birthday cake. My mom and dad had finally stopped screaming at each other. They just stared at me, their eyes cold and calculating. "Just dump her at the circus," my dad muttered. "She's so young. Even if she wants to sue us when she's older, she won't even remember our faces. Plus, we can get some quick cash for her right now." "Are you crazy?" my mom snapped. "She can barely string a sentence together. They'll literally beat her to death at a place like that." "Fine, whatever. Then let's just dump her at your mother's house. I'm sure your little mistress won't mind raising your baggage." Glass shattered as they went back to destroying the living room. Trembling in the corner, I looked over at Lin Mu Yang. "Little Yang," I whispered, terrified. "Do they not want me anymore?" His dark eyes filled with genuine confusion. "Why wouldn't anyone want you? You're wonderful." Lin Mu Yang was supposed to be my imaginary friend, a ghostly, beautiful boy I hallucinated during a starvation spell. He told me he didn't have a name. He told me he was just some broken, defective code inside a video game, destined to be deleted. I think I recognized a fellow outcast in him, because he instantly became my best friend in the world. Since he didn't have a name, I remember solemnly reaching out my tiny hand. "Hello, I am Lin Mubei. Mom always told me the north bedroom gets zero sunlight. So, how about you be my personal sun? Keep shining on me so I stay warm for my entire life. Deal? How about I call you Lin Mu Yang?" The boy did not agree right away, but after that, whenever I called his name, he appeared. Obviously, I still got shipped off to the circus. Eventually, every basic human need became a reward for finishing my chores. If I failed, I got beaten. There was zero comfort waiting for me, just endless screaming and scolding. From then on, I was forced to learn countless tricks and run tightrope drills until I dropped. That practically summed up my entire childhood. During one show, I was just way too exhausted. My legs gave out. I fell and smashed my legs so badly I could not even stand. The circus crew crowded around me. Their eyes looked exactly like my dad's and mom's right before they abandoned me. I started shaking uncontrollably. Fighting through the brutal agony, I forced my shattered legs straight. Trembling and swaying, I desperately forced out my cutest signature pose. Honestly, maybe my stubborn refusal to be thrown away or my desperate routine actually moved him. The ringmaster stared at me and gave a tiny nod. I was 8 years old. I earned zero cash, but I bought myself a pulse. After the crew left, I collapsed from sheer terror and saw Lin Mu Yang again. I was exhausted. I suddenly just wanted to leave my dying words. "Mu Yang, you are my absolute best friend. When I finally die, can you come collect my soul from the underworld?" That was the very first time I saw such a terrifying look on my imaginary friend. Bloodthirsty, insane, completely apocalyptic. He forced a stiff smile at me. "What exactly do you want?" Staring into his violently dark eyes, I violently shivered. "I just want to go home. I want my parents back. I want to eat my mom's grilled fish. And I really want to be held tight, lying in a nice, soft and cozy bed to sleep. If I cannot have that, then I want to leave with you. I want your world. Because this place is a total nightmare." Honestly, what else could an 8-year-old kid even wish for? Even if she just wanted her horrible parents back, they were still the only family she knew. He crouched down and gently rubbed my filthy hair. "Of course you can. I will drag your parents back here right now." I had absolutely no idea how he managed to pull it off. But the very next morning, my parents actually came to the circus to rescue me. They were thrilled to take me home. They bought me brand new clothes and moved us into a beautiful new house. My sparkling new bedroom was stuffed with my favorite plushies. I asked him how on earth he did it. He just flashed a dangerously proud smile. "Money. You just have to hand your parents enough cash." In that exact moment, the reality finally hit me. Lin Muyang was not some imaginary friend. He was totally real. He truly existed, but nobody else could see him, except for me. Just when I thought my tragic life was finally getting better, Lin Muyang vanished from my world, like a dying echo. When I turned 9, my parents divorced and started their own new families. I was dumped all over again. For 10 straight years, I never saw Lin Muyang again. I became a lonely stray ghost that nobody wanted. Then, the live stream chat suddenly blew up. Awesome, the video feed is back. Wait a second, the boss has an 80% affection progress bar above his head? When did this total newbie manage to charm him? How is the progress bar already maxing out? Confused, I slowly tilted my head up. He still had those freezing blue eyes, but this was definitely not the Lin Muyang I remembered. That frail, scrawny little ghost boy had mutated into a dangerously attractive man with broad shoulders, a narrow waist, and lean muscle. Alarm bells rang in my head. He crept closer and closer. I was so terrified I practically bit my own tongue off. You really are not going to kill me? He gently scooped me up into his arms. Behind him, the chaotic swarms of monsters automatically parted to create a clear path for him. We entered the bedroom, and the door locked itself. I sank deep into the mattress as his heavy frame hovered over me. We are best friends, remember? Back then, I slept in your bed. Now that we are all grown up, you get to sleep in my bed. That is perfectly fair, right? My face flushed a violent shade of crimson. Is this right? Do best friends press their bodies together this closely? His freezing lips brushed against my forehead, burning hotter by the second. Moving lower, he gently whispered, "We are totally best friends, right? But you did not even recognize me at first. Do you not owe me some serious compensation for missing out on a decade of bonding?" My cheeks were burning hot enough to fry an egg. I guess so. But wait, do best friends actually kiss on the mouth? And for this long? The live chat above my head erupted like an angry pond of frogs. Oh my god, I am literally screaming. Where is the delivery room? Baby is born! His freezing blue eyes suddenly looked like they had been completely set on fire. My stunned silence basically handed him the match. Lin Muyang truly transformed into a blazing sun, practically burning me alive right there on the bed. For so many years, I literally treated you like a brother. What on earth did you view me as? I furiously blushed and muttered near his ear. Look, you are definitely handsome, but all these stream viewers are watching us. His sharp little fangs gently bit down on my shoulder. Understood. I will just shut the broadcast off for you. Instantly, the live chat started screaming in absolute outrage. Refund! Give me my money back! Are you kidding me? I literally called out of work just to watch this stream. By my third day trapped inside this horror survival game, the live chat's vibe had completely derailed. Take a wild guess how long they went at it last night. The boss once crushed 8 monsters. Stamina is clearly not an issue for him. No wonder the rookie player is still in bed. She totally passed out. I groaned, rolling over to wake up from my incredibly heavy sleep. My entire body furiously ached. Blinking my eyes open, I saw the 85% affection progress bar hovering right above Lin Muyang's head. He flashed his little fangs, looking like a puppy desperate for praise. Mube, do you like me? Suddenly, the chat started spamming massive red warning alerts. Do not say yes, play along physically, but do not actually fall for him. Listen, we stayed up all night digging through the strategy guides for this dungeon boss. He has a ridiculously toxic yandere mechanic. If his affection bar hits 100%, you get locked onto him for life. You will never, ever escape. You will be trapped in his grasp, locked inside this horror level forever. Hearing that, I nervously shifted my eyes away. We are just really good friends. We literally grew up together. Once this survival game is finally over, you should come visit me. Visit me all the time. Lin Muyang's pupils violently shrank. You actually want to leave? He had never hurt me. This dungeon had plenty of amazing food and drinks. Plus, as the final boss's deeply cherished childhood friend, all the terrifying monsters around here treated me like total royalty. Everything was honestly perfect, but I just could not stop thinking about my unfulfilled dreams back in the real world. Over the last decade, my parents were too busy with their new families, and eventually died in separate tragic accidents. Being underage, a really sweet older girl sponsored my high school education. At 19, clutching an acceptance letter to a top university, I was finally fighting back against fate. I crawled my way out of the gutter, only to get randomly dragged into this twisted nightmare game. Lin Muyang was incredible to me, but I refused to spend my entire life rotting inside a dungeon, even if he was here. 3 more days vanished in a flash. Today was day 7, the absolute final deadline to beat the level. I sat staring at the gorgeous meal he cooked for me, feeling totally sick to my stomach. What is wrong? Does my food taste awful today? Let me just feed you from my mouth then. Staring at his smug, victorious smirk, I angrily chugged down the bowl of soup just to shut him up. The stream chat immediately started betting on my ultimate fate. The newbie literally did nothing, but the boss just leveled up his own affection bar to 99%, which means our girl is definitely surviving this round. Yeah, but even if she wins the $10 billion grand prize, she can never leave this game alive. Because the exact second she tries to exit, her crazy yandere boss will violently slaughter her. I started shaking uncontrollably. Suddenly, Lin Muyang gently kissed away the tears streaming down my cheeks. Can you please just say you like me? I promise I will never kill you. I shuddered even harder. Oh my god. He could see the live stream comments this entire time. I was a prisoner with absolutely zero privacy. I could not hide a single thought from this guy. In the suffocating and terrifying silence, a chillingly familiar voice echoed from the far side of the dining room. This is honestly hilarious. A totally lovesick game boss, and a brain-dead, useless rookie player. Why do you not both just drop dead? That $10 billion bounty is absolutely mine. A sudden, brutal agony ripped right through my chest. Through my fading, blurry vision, I spotted the short-haired girl aiming a massive weapon. But wait, did she not die earlier? Lin Muyang violently sprinted toward me. Mubei, do not close your eyes. He snapped his fingers, and a rush of pure warmth flooded my frozen veins. My rapidly fading consciousness snapped right back to reality. Holy crap, the boss is literally transferring his own health bar to her. Who cares? That short-haired girl completely played them both. She used a rare revival item to respawn right at the finish line, ambushed the clueless newbie, and completely manipulated the boss into giving up his own health. Exactly. Hit him while his guard is down. That is how you win a survival horror game. Did you really think there were no pro players here? It is a 10 billion bounty. Once this girl executes the boss and logs out, she's going to take the #1 spot on the global leaderboards. The natural color drained violently from Lin Muyang's lips. Who cares if he was the dungeon boss? Without any health points, he was going to die. Muyang, stop it. I said stop right now. The terrifying reality crashed over me like a massive, freezing tidal wave. If his health hits 0, he dies. Swarms of furious monsters lunged forward, snapping their jaws wildly at the short-haired girl. But her legendary weapons were just way too powerful. Before the monsters could even touch her, she blasted them into pieces. At that exact second, I suddenly stopped caring about escaping. I would gladly rot in this dungeon forever if it meant keeping Lin Muyang alive. He heavily collapsed into but he still stubbornly pinned me, demanding, unless you say you like me. How dare he threaten me? Fine, he wins. Yes, I like you. I've liked you since forever. Lin Muyang chuckled happily. The progress bar above him flashed to 100. Who cares about max affection? His health bar was totally empty, slid shut. He lied to me. He was dying. I sobbed endlessly. Then, those eyes snapped open. Lin Muyang smirked wickedly. Who told you that a boss only has 1 health bar? Alright, my turn. My tears weren't even dry. He totally tricked me again. Unbelievable. This boss was insanely manipulative. Whatever, everything else was just a distraction. I was his real priority. With one snap, the short-haired girl's weapon exploded. The monsters completely backed off. If we flirted any longer, we were completely doomed. Lin Muyang walked up to her with a sinister smirk. Miss Maid, didn't I warn you on day 1 that I love my wife? Anything she hates has no right to touch her. By the way, which hand hurt her? The short-haired girl backed away in absolute terror, frantically searching her weapon inventory. Before she could grab a new shield, her hand popped like a balloon. Useless trash. Go play with her. The monsters completely swarmed over her like starving wolves. Her screams were totally drowned out. Survivor count, 1. Round 10 is officially over. This nightmare is cleared and permanently closed. Sole survivor Lin Mubei, please exit within 5 minutes. The massive prize money made the chat completely explode. Remember the name Lin Mubei. She's the richest player in horror gaming. Sister, look at me. I'm handsome and strong. Shut up, he can't leave. The boss is programmed to never let Lin Mubei go. It was finally over, but I felt totally empty. My dream college acceptance letter was still sitting in my tiny rental room. That dinner I planned with my sponsor would be cancelled forever. Lin Muyang noticed my deep sadness. You aren't happy staying with me, are you? But I'm not that selfish either. I can't just watch you leave. Lin Muyang closed his eyes. His cold, soft lips gently pressed against mine. He trembled uncontrollably. I could have pretended to be an emotionless monster, but you gave me a name. I was used to the darkness, but you showed me the sun. Let me disappear into this kiss. I shoved him away, but Lin Muyang triggered the self-destruct sequence. I didn't even catch his final expression. A cold countdown echoed in my ears. Boss has initiated the self-destruct sequence, automatically teleporting you back to your original world now. It felt like waking from a long, vivid dream. Opening my eyes in my apartment, my college acceptance letter was quietly waiting for me. My phone rang. The caller ID showed the woman who gave me years of support, my kind sponsor sister. I forced a big smile. It's totally fine. Lin Muyang, the horror game. It was all fake. He was just an imaginary friend. I am incredibly happy. Seriously, 0 post-breakup meltdowns or crushing emptiness here. Ding. A new text popped up from my bank account. Dear Miss Lin Mubei, we have officially upgraded you to our Supreme VIP customer status. A private wealth manager has been assigned to you. I counted it. 10 billion. Walking outside on the scorching summer asphalt, I shivered uncontrollably. The 10 billion was real, and Lin Muyang's death was real. I unlocked my phone, regretting I never took a final photo with him. Hey, Lin Mubei. Someone tapped my shoulder, totally startling me. I've sponsored you for years, but this is the first time seeing you so miserable. Huh? A guy's voice? Didn't my sponsor claim to be a woman? Wait, that voice was so familiar. I spun around. Sharp little fangs smiled at me. Long time no see. Let me properly introduce myself. I'm Lin Muyang, the light of your entire life. Just to meet you, I became the first horror boss in history to cheat death. Hey, no congratulations for me?